Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to Flying with Brian. This is episode 5. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the fuselage, the condition it's in, kind of where I'm going with the project, and then we're going to give you an update on the fabric work on the left wing. So let's check it out. So here you can see the firewall. I've cleaned it up, repainted it. Some of the main things we've done here are added the new battery and the starter solenoid and master solenoid that go with that, and also we've added a new gasculator here. And I've got a friend of mine who's a mechanic, lives in the neighborhood, who's helping me with this with the engine work here and the firewall work while I do the fabric, so hopefully we'll make a little faster progress that way. Here's a good shot of the back of the motor. Again, this is a Continental C85-12. It's 85 horsepower. We've got two freshly rebuilt magnetos and brand new ignition harness, and will be new spark plugs, and then that's a good look at the new starter. So that's about ready to put back on the airplane. Just a little quick look at the fuselage. Again, this is a 1946 Taylorcraft. It's a BC-12D. The fuselage is maybe not the prettiest, but it can be airworthy pretty easily. I don't know if you can tell. See where the colors there. It's been patched, and the strapping on the back is kind of brown. The strapping at the front is more maroon. So it's kind of a coat of many colors here. But I think my game plan is to get these wings finished and painted, and get the motor mounted, and probably fly it for a couple seasons like that, and then tackle the fuselage and redo the fabric and paint on it. And then hopefully it'll be really nice when it's done then, but otherwise it's going to be down for, gosh, probably another year or two doing the fuselage. On the wing today, I've got the fabric on top of it, and I've shrunk it down. It still needs one more good shrink at between 350 and 375, but this is just to tauten it up so that I can get my overlap seams nice and straight and get the bottom glued on and overlapped. It's going to come up, probably the bottom fabric will come around and stop about here in a line that goes all the way down the wing. And there'll be a tape, a finishing tape that'll go over the top of that. This is the fuel tank in the wing. There's a 6-gallon tank here. You can see there's a little aluminum support underneath the fabric. And again, the bottom fabric will overlap this edge and come around. Let me see if you can see from underneath here. Probably not real well, but and here's a look at the tip. There's a nav light goes in this little bracket here. Probably not going to have lights on it right now. I've got a little plate that'll cover that up, but it does have wire to that hole, so I can add it later on if I decide to. But you can see it's starting to look like a wing here, and I'll update you again as I get the fabric on the bottom and get that shrunk down. Alright, so I've got the wing flipped over. This is the bottom side we're looking at now. You can see I've got some loose fabric here just on top of it. This fabric, a couple people have asked me about. It's a man-made fabric. It's I think the trade name is Dacron. Airplane people call it Seconite or Superflight fabric. It comes in a couple of different weights, but in the old days they used cotton, and the cotton would degrade over a few years, and airplanes had to be recovered with cotton and dope, like, I don't know, every 5 or 6 years. This stuff will last 25, 30 plus years, really to the point that you need to inspect the airframe that's underneath the fabric more than you do just to replace the fabric. But so it comes in a 6-foot wide roll, and what we do here is I've got 2 coats of adhesive around the perimeter of the structure. This is what the adhesive looks like. It's almost like a syrup kind of stuff. But we put the 2 coats of a thick mixture of it down, and then when I put this fabric down, I'm going to go through the fabric, or maybe lay down a wet coat underneath, and then on top with a thinner mixture of the adhesive, and that locks that fabric down. And once it's locked down, I'm going to take the iron, which is neatly laid on the floor there, but we'll shrink it tight with the iron. So it doesn't have to be very tight when we glue it down, but we'll shrink it to nice and tight with the iron. But I'm going to go all along here. You can see I got a, that's for my airspeed, that's the pitot tube that's going to be sticking out and connected to another fixture. But we got, on the bottom we have a few things to work around. I'm going to have to do some trimming where the struts attach, the fuel tank drain, some odds and ends like that. But I've got a, probably can't see it, but I've got a chalk line snap that's nice and straight along the leading edge here, and I'm going to take this fabric and glue it down along that chalk line, and then I'm going to lay it across the wing and tack down the other side as we get ready to shrink. So that's basically the procedure. I'm going to pause for now, and then I'll show you how it's going a little bit later. Alright, I've got a bead of glue along this leading edge. You can see the fabric's still loose on the top. And we'll try the time lapse and see how that works on the trailing edge. Alright, so now you know a little bit more about fabric work and how fabric is attached to the wing. It looks like it's just about done, but really I've got quite a bit more work to do. I've got to put those, the wing clip, the clips that go along the ribs that hold the fabric down on both sides. So I got to do that on all the ribs. And then I have to go over that with the finishing tapes. Before I put those tapes down, I have to draw straight lines to make sure all those are nice and straight. It's still another probably 2 or 3 days of solid work to get this wing finished up. But we're making some progress. Also excited because I got some new gear. Maybe you noticed today I filmed with a GoPro. I got an older one, but I also have a GoPro 7 coming. And I got a couple mounts to put them in the airplane. And I've also got, it's currently back ordered, but I've got an audio cable so that I can talk to you and you can hear the radios and stuff while I'm flying. So hopefully that'll make the flying footage quite a bit more exciting, and it'll be easier for me so I'm not trying to fly the airplane and hold the camera at the same time. And I think the footage will be a little bit better. So stand by for that in some coming episodes. And thanks for tuning in. So hopefully we'll see you on episode 6 of Flying with Brian.